What is limping in poker preflop action? Have you ever wondered what it means to limp in poker before the community cards are dealt? Limping is an action that occurs during the preflop stage of a hand. It involves calling the amount of the big blind instead of raising. For example, if the big blind is 100 chips, a player who limps will put in 100 chips to stay in the hand. There are two main types of limping you should know about. The first is open limping, which happens when a player is the first to enter the pot by just calling the big blind. The second type is called over-limping. This occurs when one or more players have already limped, and a player decides to call behind them without raising. Now, limping is often viewed as a weaker or less aggressive move compared to raising. When you raise, you can win the pot immediately without seeing the flop. Raising also helps define the strength of your hand, forcing your opponents to make tougher decisions for more chips. Despite its reputation, limping is not always a bad choice. Some skilled players use limping as a strategic move in specific situations. For instance, if you are in the small blind position, you might limp to complete the blind. Additionally, if you have a speculative hand, you may want to see a cheap flop by limping in. However, limping can also invite raises from opponents who want to isolate the limper and take control of the pot. Because of this, limping has become less popular in modern poker strategy, especially from early positions. In these spots, raising is typically a stronger play. In summary, limping means calling the big blind preflop instead of raising. While it is often seen as a passive move, it can be used strategically based on your position, the dynamics at the table, and the strength of your hand. Most poker fundamentals suggest that raising is generally the better option to gain more control and value in the hand.